Hello, my name is Dr. Caitlin Green, and I'm one of the tutors on the undergraduate certificate in the study of early medieval England. Now, this is a fascinating period, one in which the fundamental building blocks of modern England were laid. At the start of the period, we're dealing with the people of Britain were effectively the Romano-Britons, speaking a version of Welsh. There were no villages in the landscape, very few towns at all, if any real urban centres surviving by that point. No parish churches or anything similar. But by the end of the period, all these things are in place, including, for the first time, a kingdom of the English, a kingdom of England, which forms out of coalescence of many smaller kingdoms such as Wessex, Essex, East Anglia and Mercia across the course of the early medieval period. And as well as England, there is an identity of the English that hadn't existed previously. So this is absolutely core to English history and archaeology, and it is a fascinating period to study and one on which most of my research has been based. Now, our aim with this course is to be very welcoming, supportive and flexible. So you get one pre-recorded lecture a week on a different topic, and you can watch that at any point during your week that suits you. Then there is a 1 hour live seminar where you can come in on Zoom and see us, talk to me and the other tutors, talk to your fellow students, and we will try and integrate some activities into that, which are designed to enhance your thinking, get you thinking analytically and about causes and effects and how things changed over time and what the reasons for this were. It is a course of three parts. The first part is dealing with the landscape of early medieval England, and that's taught by me. And in that, we will look on how the landscape evolves over time, how we end up with the landscape of parishes and parish churches and villages of modern England, how that emerged from a very different landscape that existed previously, the impact of the Vikings on the landscape, and Anglo-Saxon immigrants from northwestern Europe too, who eventually formed the core of the English. We then look in the second unit at the archaeology of Anglo-Saxon England. And again, that's taught by me. We're going to be looking at settlements and how people lived in their daily life. We're going to be looking at what they wore, how they expressed themselves, and their sense of ethnic identity, how the Romano-Britons effectively became the English, stopped speaking British, a version of Welsh, and started speaking English. Those are topics we'll look at. We will also look at how people died. So the archaeology of death, how people were commemorated. We will look at the formation of the kingdom of the English and the impact of the Vikings in terms of everyday life and that of the Normans too. In the third unit, that is going to be looking at Anglo-Saxon art and architecture. For example, the great Sutton Hoo treasures that are on display in the British Museum and were so famously found at Sutton Hoo in Suffolk. You'll also have a look at architecture because there are some amazing still standing Anglo-Saxon churches and bits of sculpture all across England for you to look at. So you really get a sense of the art and architecture of that period. Now, obviously, anybody who's interested in the fundamental foundations of modern day England in terms of landscape and identity, this really is going to be absolutely fascinating for you. And you will have a chance to really dive into this period, get to understand the sources, use the landscape as a source, use the archaeology and try and say what it shows us, and you'll learn to be even more analytical, and that's an absolutely key life skill. As I said, it's a very supportive learning environment. You're going to have peers from diverse backgrounds and from all across the world involved in this course. If you complete it by submitting the assignments, which will be marked by myself and the other tutors, then you will get a mark at the end of this, but you'll also gain alumni status at the University of Cambridge. So I really look forward to seeing those of you who choose to do this. It's going to be a fascinating topic. You are going to learn to really analyse this material in depth and get to know just how England came into being. Okay, I really look forward to seeing you and I hope you apply.